dey calculate me, yeah. You dey saturate me. Oh my girl, you activate me. You activate me. You dey calculate me. You dey activate me. You activate me. Baby me. You dey full of my mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man we've been waiting for just joined us live in the studio. Eva. Yeah, that's how we do it, you know. That's how we do it. Make sure. Oh, are you sure that means you back? It's so good though. Nice one. Positive. Bim.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, man. You know, I'll date this back to a certain, I remember back in the time, a conversation that he was on with Jessica, formerly of City FM.
Right.
And Jessica asked, I was listening to that interview, and Jessica asked Stonebwoy to explain the meaning of beam. And that was the first time I ever heard the meaning that, you know, it was really early times, you know,
yes,
bless his Imperial Majesty. Yes, and the brand has grown, and today I'm sure he's carrying it like, look, the brand big so much, say, left small, you know, your headset will start challenging. It big.
Okay, just since he carrying on.
He carry on.
They
manage out, don't be easy. Charlie, I like that. We're just playing the song You and Davido, you know, and coincidentally, I mean, you and Davido are both, you know, releasing your magic just around the same time, you know, and yeah, he's out with his already, you know, and what excites me is I was going through your track list and I saw the, you know, this song on the album as well, song that was released 2 years ago. That tells me about probably how long you've been working on this album. I don't know if you want to give us insights into that, because this song is like, 2021. Yeah.
With Davido?
Yeah, with Davido.
Yes, 2021. December.
Yeah, 2021. And
it was released in December, I remember. I think it was the 1st December. And then, first December.
Okay, I think I'll need you closer to the mic, you know, a little bit. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, 2021 December. Yeah, the song lit up the December period. So I want to understand, from that time, you've been working on this album.
Yeah, yes.
2 years.
Yes, and the thing is, some of the songs had even, I think some of the songs have been in the back from the last album, which was the Angwaga Junction. And you know, because we've always been recording, so it's just like we just select from knowing what we want to. Sorry, you know, it's early in the morning like this.
Yeah. You know what excites me is the fact that it's like, you know, a song that has been jammed to listen to, you know, for 2 years, still made its way. That probably says that people are still you know, massively in love and still asking for that music.
You know, the thing is, it's a technical move. Yeah, that's how I answer that. It's a technical move because when you check on Davido's album, he has the champion sounded vocalistic on the album. So there's a reason. I'm just giving that example. So, yeah. Technical people must go and look at why that is done.
What does it mean to have, you know, when you say technically, add in the song?
Yeah, I leave it for technical people to go and look at that because here in Ghana we have technical people too. I don't have to do like we know it all. And as I mean, I'm about to try BMO because they're supposed to be technical people who understand this easily. Yeah. Those who speak on radio, those who analyze and critique stuff should know easily why these moves are made. So if you don't know there, then I think these are the things to be understanding as an industry. Yeah, exactly.
Does it have anything to do with Davido also having a major project and coming back into the scene and getting that conversation going again? Because
I think most of the time when this is done, it's because of the numbers, right?
Yeah,
so that it helps. Yeah, it helps with the
exactly.
numbers. So that's why they do
I
it.
even see
So
like
you'd
there's like,
wonder.
Exactly.
I get some nice trainers where they travel
No.
with. The fact is,
No.
I don't have to. I'll
right.
carry it
The
on because
reason-
it'll match.
It's a
It'll match up
technical
to.
move.
No, the reason artists do this because you find them backdate a single from like months ago and then add it to an album. It's just because that will also affect the numbers. So when you are going to look at the album in its totality and its reach, how the song has done
And
as
most
a
of
single will
those songs are
affect
singles.
how the album will
So
do.
now the album
So,
as
yeah.
a collective is going to actually help to even drive it further.
Yeah, that's why they do
You
that.
understand? And then the numbers also it's a strictly technical
So
move. You
the
can't
one
say
you've
that
already-
we don't have enough songs to.
The one
so
you've
that's
already
just what I'm saying.
uploaded on that song,
Yeah,
and then now you have to upload the whole album.
exactly.
So would there be like a duplication?
No, it will replace
Same.
it, but then it comes with its numbers and all the achievements that the song has done. Would equally move on to this to adapt to the new body of works and then also be able to be promoted into different areas as a collective because initially it was a single before. Yeah, so it's really this is actually the primary reason why singles have been always released before albums are released. That's really the reason. Do you get what I'm saying? Like it got to a point in time people didn't release albums at a go. They released singles and then dropped the album having those same songs on there because they work the singles. So then now that the album is coming, you put together these singles that are coming out from the album
To draw them
else you'd have wasted the work and all the stuff that you would have inputted into
Charlie,
that record.
first off, I make happy.
Thank you.
I make happy for a lot of reasons. Let me start unpacking the happiness, and then we are drilling down to the album where we're going to talk heavily about this brand new album.
Yeah.
One, first off, seeing you on the Breakfast Club, seeing you in the most recent one. Was it which b-ball? Was it the end of basketball or something?
Yeah, that was in London. The NFL 2 happened at the MSG.
Yeah.
Also, I went to watch. Is it this game? The game with the Knicks and some of the. I'm not really. I'm now
myself. I'm not
merging into the b-ball
Yeah.
situation. So I was there as well. We did this. We did something. It came out on the MSG networks. That was quite like 2 weeks ago, if not too long. And then this was in London as well. The London Lions.
Yeah.
And
some team.
something Eagles.
Yeah, some team.
I'm always forgetting their face.
It's early morning. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, that's why I'm really happy for you because there's been a great consistency, and all the decisions you've taken, as an artist, be it good or bad, is what has brought you to the point that you are in. So we'll come to those details very soon. But I want us to spend more time talking about the album because that's the big conversation, that everybody is looking forward to. The anticipation around the album itself is crazy. You did release the cover of the art of the album yesterday, right? Was it 2 days ago or yesterday? 2 days ago, yeah. And the mad love that people showed Stonebwoy by reposting, talking about it, was just phenomenal. I want us to put a track list on the screens as quickly as possible, and let's jump into someone will say the intros of the album.
Oh, Charlie.
Let's start with the art cover first. Let's put that on the screen, and I can imagine probably the work that has gone into creating something. The simple artworks are the ones that have got the magic behind them. So let's understand what the meaning of this is.
Before when I saw it, something in my heart just told me that Koda. I swear, something in my heart just told me Koda, and I went straight to his Kwame Koda.
Yeah. Oh,
and I went straight to his Twitter.
Yeah.
And then I saw that he had posted, and I said,
Same
yes,
guy
I.
who's the creative director for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, yes, I. So, just by the way, what was it like? The impact, the jackets, the styling, everything. What was the experience?
It's a collective effort. Koda was brought on board by my in-house creatives person who is behind all the video rollouts you're seeing. K Studios is also a Ghanaian, because we have to let people know as we go that the team is just young boys and us from here. So he brought Koda and Kwame and Sao Menka on board as well. Because for me, I really wanted to always, and I'll work with my people because we all have to push together so that if we are breaking boundaries, we are known as such as well, you know. So that's how come. But the styling, interestingly, I styled myself. Like I've been styling myself the whole time, bro. But I had to say it now because you asked.
Is there a
That's
reason
good. You don't make
that,
noise
that
about
happened?
it. Why?
At all.
But if you make noise about
No,
that.
hold on.
No,
So
is there a
when Stonebwoy
reason-
enters, okay.
Is there a reason you style yourself? Is it because you haven't found anybody that understands your style? Because I'm of the
or you're
strong
not
belief.
comfortable.
That shouldn't be the first thought for me.
No, I'm of the
not at
strong
all.
belief that
Not at
fashion
all.
and style are different, right? You can follow fashion trends, but you need to
also
understand
about your money
style.
Understanding your style is, I mean, it's a question. So I'm just, you know, saying, coming from the, is it because or the not was first? So, you know, so that's what I'm saying. The thing is, style is you. You see, fashion could always be somebody else, but style, you have to have an input in your own style, which would not be that
Has to be personal.
you are too knowing or anything, because sometimes somebody can put on shades that will work for somebody else, and it won't work for another person. It's like you know yourself, you know your smell. It comes with it as well. So I've always, that's why I never even speak about that, because I feel like it's me.
Yeah.
So all these styling, Grammys, everything you see, I collect from designers and I put them together. I can tell you 100%, like I'll mention kudos to my Ghanaian designers, but 90 out of 10, if not 100%, I put them together because I love to.
Right.
So I collect them and then I'm doing that from, you know.
But as you said,
I think that's my style.
That's
so
nice.
maybe fashion-wise, I collect. So surely I work with designers, I work with stylists, 100%. Any stylist I've worked with have had little work to do. They always say this. When Stone here, when he says he wants this, give him that, he knows what he wants
Then you
to
put
look
it
like.
together.
But it's premeditated, like, you know, when it comes
intention.
to, it's intentional. So most of it, you find me that I collect stuff a lot, even if I'm not wearing it. Somebody can be like, oh, this is what I have. I'm like, yeah, bring it. You might not see me wear it today, maybe even in a year, but by the time I put it together, it will make a lot of
Shouts
sense.
to Harry Stitch, or is it Cotton? Harry Stitch.
Harry Cotton.
Harry Cotton.
Yeah.
Yes,
Stitch
Harry
as well.
Cotton
So
is
Harry
one
Cotton,
of the
solid guy.
Solid guy.
Solid guy. Ever since we met, I went to perform at one at a wedding for one of she's a very big support of Stonebwoy. So she's a military lady. I don't know if you guys have seen the military girl who always sings. So that's where I met the guy, and this guy actually has read into him, and then him and there's another big one too. These are the two people who's been, but Harry Cotton lately has been the one who stepped into my, when you work with, sometimes you find people who are like on your mind, like you know what the frequency is just there. Like he said, oh, so don't worry. I have little idea. I've shown him nothing. He comes and that's the one that will work for me. Like he's been doing this like magic.
I had an experience with him for one of your concerts. I think the one with when this guy came to town. Beanie Man came to town.
Yes.
Chief made me go to him to get styled. This guy didn't even need to do anything. He just saw. And just
people
knew what I
talented
wanted.
like that.
Yeah, that's how deep the guy is. So I mean, great question.
He's Ghanaian, right? Like,
He's Ghanaian,
yes.
Harry Cotton. Wild guy. We need to actually sometimes amplify these these boys.
We have to.
Who put in
So
the
maybe I
mix.
always do. So realistically, they know that I always do. There's no way we don't do the tags or we don't mention them and promote them and even connect them within the industry, etc. They will always.
I've asked the team to put
That's awesome.
it up. Yeah, I found the link.
You found the link.
awesome.
We should talk about, before we even go into the song, still staying on the album cover. So this is Stonebwoy. I want to ask whether there's model, whether because I don't know whether.
And there's another name I need to mention. I'm looking for it. I have to also mention. He's also a crazy stylist.
You see the image that he put to the album cover. You know how your
hands on the face.
Hands on face, watching. It might sound like a very dumb question to ask, but it feels like you understood what you wanted to communicate even by the picture about the album and what what we should see. If I see this, I see two things. I see kingship. I see
royalty.
Yes. I see like this is deep. This is a lot of work I put into this. So I need you not just
simple,
to listen,
but it has all
these meanings to it,
and then deep in thought as well.
I
actually
see power.
Power.
You know, leaders have the power pose. This is like the power pose. Right? That's I wouldn't believe that's your interpretation.
You're right. Because in the end, you are right. You've not said one thing that is wrong. Because even me per se, like, I can see what it's
communicating.
Yes, before we actually release anything, we all wanted a certain kind of idea or theme. We didn't want to do too much, but we wanted to be able to send across
a strong
message of what we are and what we are looking into, even becoming. And this is futuristic. This is just a picture that when it ages, it becomes classy. And so we thank God we're able to, have it done. That was a real lion.
Good. I was just about to say that.
That was a real lion skin.
Real.
Wow.
It was a gift
from Ethiopia.
From Haile Selassie's grandson.
Oh, that's nice.
It's really giving.
Yes,
that's a real lion.
From Haile Selassie's grandson. That one they worry me past the lion. You know the magnitude of that.
That's dope.
Haile Selassie's grandson. I close.
That's dope.
Forget about the lion. The lion one. Forget about the lion.
Yeah, but the person will give you the
what's your relationship with him? I mean, for him to gift you something like this, because I understand that in certain African countries. In certain African countries, the lion symbolizes so many things. And so for them to have to kill it, skin it, and give it to you as a gift, that's actually very valuable.
And it belongs to him, Ankasat. It's like I'm giving
family
heirloom as mine. We met in South Africa just this September, and that's how we linked. And he just shocked what I represent. He speaks very little, but he knows everything about Ghana. He's really connected to, he's a Pan-African guy, proper. So, I had to give his credits to him as his due. So, looking at the styling, I just felt like, okay, this will work. Something really simple. I just had on the trousers that was sewn by, the other guy sewed the trousers, just to give the credits. He's also big, and
let me help you out. Let me help you.
Research, man.
Let me just
he'll help us with that. This is
now I get the power, because if you see the lion's power is in his mane, and that's the mane there.
So that's a Ghana guy on the trousers, and then since we are mentioning accessories, maybe the necklaces too and the earpieces too are from Frost in London. Joseph Frost, big does. The Davis, the Whizzes, so that everything was carefully fit. And then the hairstyle too, if we have to.
I was going to ask that.
That's Babs, right here in Ghana, hairstyle.
In totality.
And I actually picked the hairstyle. I'm like, do it this way, do it that way. So I realized that, maybe I can do some fashion kind of something.
Right.
No, that's a real question. Number one, is he taking a jacket off or putting it on? Number one.
You never know the case. Chema, you see when you see a king and he's like this, you don't know whether he's sitting down or he's about to get up.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure it out. It's actually a really thought-provoking question.
Taking it off or putting it on.
You can't really tell.
Well, anyway, sorry. I mean, it would have a meaning based on the time. For now, he's adorning himself with the kingship.
Yeah,
he's
putting it
on. We'll go find it.
Yeah. When he ages and you look back at it, he says he's done. He's taking it off. So it depends on the times of the season you are in.
No, but that's crazy.
It's dope. It's dope. And I
really don't know whether I was wearing or taking it off, but it was I have to ask the creative team. Because you better know why you're but I will show who you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into there's a conversation about your relationship with now these Jamaican artists? Like, it seems, I mean, Stonebwoy has made taken so many huge strides and you've built relationship. I want to understand how you and Jamaica are now, like, when we talk about these two countries.
Okay, the best example I can give is that, you see, we have artists who may have blown to like Jamaica, has they know the name, like, oh, we were hitting, you know, in Kawa, but me, they know me for Jamaica, like I'd be homegrown. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Like I didn't blow to be heard in Jamaica, but I'm known in Jamaica,
accepted,
because I visit the place. I pay homage to where it's due. I'm family. Have like 45 collaborations with Jamaicans alone.
Wow. Nice.
You see, including the big legends. I just jumped on another with Morgan Heritage and Bounty Killer.
Yeah.
I've 45. The list is there. Plenty.
So let me pause you a bit. Your name has come. The trousers name, Selom Lakopui.
No, I wouldn't. This guy actually sold. Selom, yes, that's some. Selom actually sold the one I wore for the World Cup performance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
What this one?
I'm touching base with Chief. Don't worry. So
Yeah. There's another.
Yes.
Yeah. No, the credit.
No, the name will come.
The way they drop popular.
It happen.
If he's listening to you, might as well just let us know.
I know, right? But too. So these are the guys that I've actually worked with in the Harry Cotton, Selom, and then this particular guy that Nadine.
The vanishing name.
He has also done so many stuff. Like, he's actually done represented Ghana at a lot of fashion shows, and he's tops too, and he needs to also be acknowledged proper.
Okay, enough fashion talk, enough relationship talk. Let's go down straight into the music itself. Now, for those of you who are listening to us on Plus FM as well, please pardon us. Because of copyright issues, we'll not be able to stream the music or any song for you. But we're going to talk about the songs, okay? But the album cover, we can put it up. I mean, trust us.
But there's a pre-order link,
yes,
right?
There's a pre-order.
Yeah, so if you want to catch it
yesterday.
Yeah, it's a pre-order. Oh yeah, BIM, you know.
Charlie, you don't understand what you're going for this room inside there. I've got the secret. The secret is here. Charlie, this man, if he left, I die. If you make it, this is the way he left, I die for this house.
They don't say we elevate.
So you make an house in Grandkiddy. Alone. You know, but can we have the album cover put up on the screen? You know, so we can talk about it. You know, now, I mean, Fifth Dimension.
Now I get it. Even if I'm laughing, some people respect death and value. So, and I've always trusted Cyril to be one of those who's like, we're not shallow.
Yeah.
Let me just be straight.
I die.
Yeah. So
You say I die.
Next week, if not come work,
right?
Next week, not come work.
Charlie, Fifth Dimension. Word has it that it's the fifth album.
Yes, please.
So you only had to just give you gave it like acknowledgement. Fifth Dimension. Yeah. Okay, so let's get down into what's inside Fifth Dimension. Life and Money. But hold on. Before that, in thinking the album title, aside from the name, you know, the number, what other thing went into it?
Yeah, realistically is a thought of. Surely it's the fifth album. It could have been the fourth album, which we called Fifth Dimension. So it really just worked.
Okay.
You know, that is the fifth one that I deemed fit to name Fifth Dimension. Because as far as I'm concerned, you see, we're working in, people believe in different things, but the truth be told, we're working in at different levels of, how do I even say this? So that I won't be judged.
Realms.
Definitely. There are several realms in life. Physical realm, spiritual realm, all the other realms, the astral realms, and it does work. If you look into a mirror self and you put your left hand to the mirror, it's realistically in the mirror is your right hand that is pointing back to this one.
Exactly.
It's not your left, but you put your left. So it's like, See what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there are different people. I'm one of those people.
You're open-minded.
So much so that you understand certain things which are facts. Mm-hmm. People just want to work on the basis where they understand. Mm-hmm. And so this is actually the fifth. Because guess what? I'll share an intel. After the name has been capped to everything, I intentionally asked my legal team, and I said, what do you think will be the name of this album? This guy came back with the same thing.
Real.
He didn't come with fifth dimension straight, but that's just what he meant. He was describing, knowing me, he was describing, and the fifth is that. I say, it's okay, that's it. So already I could understand that apart from they being the team around me, there is that level of we have to get it there. Sonically, we have to get it there because music is actually even more spiritual a tool than physical. Yeah. The effects that it gets on us physically is minimal compared to the effect it gets on us
emotionally
beyond the physical. Because emotions, it has effects on us and all of that. So this collective is supposed to actually take us to that level where I see me going, taking into consideration the sounds of today, and then being able to also create something that people can actually create from, and also be able to have it live through time. So imagine if music can actually live through time and we will even grow and die. It takes us into dimensions. So it's a fifth dimension. If you read about the fifth dimension alone, as just type fifth dimension, you get a lot of insight about what I'm actually, up to and what I mean by fifth dimension, although it's my fifth studio album. So only just work hand in hand.
Hand in hand, nice. Now, life and money, Stormzy, I can just imagine the life that Stonebwoy has lived, and of course the revenue that's come with it,
That's another way to think about it. But it's life and money.
Yeah, okay.
Life and money, basically.
Tell us about the song.
Personal. It's not personal about my life and my money, but it's life and money. These two things
go hand in
hand.
Yeah.
What were you talking about in the song with this title, and then why you featured Stormzy?
Life and money. That's the summary. I was talking about life and money.
No, still.
Oh. But how else can I? It's not self-explanatory. I'm not trying to hide any information, but that's just I'm talking so is it broad enough.
Money can be a social vice when money can mislead you, or is it about
getting money and
the fact that you need to get money?
Exactly, but you might not find it as just bare as literal as I'm talking about money. But those are titles. This is like a movie. You see, when you pick a title of a movie or even a book, we have to just give you a title, but when you read into it, you have different meanings.
No, for artists, I disagree. For artists,
you must
sometimes a dimension like Stonebwoy.
Not sometimes.
An artist in a dimension like Stonebwoy, there are deep meanings to everything that he puts. He doesn't just do it. So it's different for me to just lie back and see it. So this song is life and money. No. And there'll be a reason why Stonebwoy will handpick and say, let me do Stormzy and put him on life and money.
Exactly. Good. So breaking down the title of Life and Money, that's what I'm saying. It's not literal like just you're saying. Okay. So it actually would mean deep to anybody who, however they want to understand it. But we didn't sing anything literally, money, life. That's what I'm saying. So it's broad. It's just like a title of a book. So once you read the book, then you can also understand what we are talking about.
Was there anything unique about Stormzy that made you want him to be the one on this record?
Yes, I think so. Being that after when we recorded the song, sometimes that some people will do very well on some songs, whereby Stormzy himself, a Ghanaian brother in the diaspora, has proven himself to be like somebody who you can't predict because his sonic the way he understands music is really interesting. Something to really learn from. Because 1 minute he's singing with his low tone,
rough voice. Yes, we are blessed, but it's hard.
You see what I'm saying? Like soft voice, like low tone, and the next minute he's giving you some grime and all of that. So that's deep. So we just realized that he would make a good collabo on that song, and then it worked out too. It's really not. It's he's hardly done features. Let's be straightforward.
He hasn't,
Storms has gotten to a point where if you really understand, because he speaks less, but if you know, you know.
Pause it in the music.
What was the vibe like in the studio with him? Or did you?
It was crossed over because I was running around the whole time. You couldn't,
With that crossover, sending of files and all that, we keep complaining about the Ghanaian sound.
Yeah.
Now I know you are working with a lot of international collaborators and all that, so we are elevating the sound, even the quality.
From time.
Now I'm sure you also got the feedback from Therapy.
Yeah.
The sound. Me myself, I tell you.
Exactly.
The sound.
The sound, yes.
Are we leaning more towards that on this project? Are we going to hear that
quality?
That
yes,
international
absolutely.
hit?
Absolutely. You see, I'm definitely not used to, just I know what I really sometimes know what to say, because I know how the conversation can change. Else, when I tell you how much we've spent budget-wise on this album, you'll be amazed.
You tell us.
And I know that you understand that. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm very...
Stone, it's very interesting you're saying that because, and not to take the wind out of your sail.
No.
That's because we've seen our cousins do it.
Exactly.
Not too long ago, Joey Akan, a Nigerian journalist, talked about the fact that an average Nigerian single, the average price for the average rate for a Nigerian single to experience rotation is not less than $35,000. Just a single.
Oh, yes.
That's
very fair.
You see, and he even said that's average.
That's very fair. I can tell you that is just a recording fee. That's just a studio. That's just that's my fee. After bargaining and
mixing,
whatever.
Mastering,
no
session.
way.
Yeah.
Leave
Just
mastering
raw.
and mixing, I'm telling you. You finish the song, it's done. You have to go and master it elsewhere if you
that'd be the session.
That'd be the session. That's the session. That's without having clearing the song. I mean, it's part of it. But that's like
to get your files.
35K there is like after bargaining depending on who you're working with. I've worked with Super Dupes on this album.
Yes, the Grammy nominated.
I've worked with
Grammy producer.
Maybe if I look at the titles and I go tell you, I've worked with J5 on this album. Jay is a Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And I can point to you how much Jay charged for his side.
Well, Jay has actually said that at least a beat will cost you £5,000. A beat.
Oh no.
He tweeted it the last time.
25,000.
25,000.
I'm telling you.
Is that the exact amount he charged you?
I'm telling you, fact on fact.
He said that's why he got the name J5.
Wow.
Then maybe that is how he started.
Yeah, 5,000. So now
we should call
just
it
a
J25,
beat.
Yeah, J25. Maybe that's how he got the name.
I'm telling you now.
Wow.
Just a beat.
So we're just checking. So that's 17-track album. And I would have to, we have to be honest. Here in Ghana, I think I have actually paid the best fees to my Ghanaian producers because I can't stand the fact that I've been doing international stuff where I've been doing, we've been paying some, huge sums where our own people. Remember Nazir came out to say in 2016 when I did Huja Guy No Fear.
Yeah.
The amount I paid him for that visuals was what he bought his car with.
Yeah.
So I know they loud.
Just
But
do the work.
look at the time from look at the. I'm just making an example of one something. So me, I've always understood the fact that I want to also give the best and let us work at certain levels. Yeah. And every producer I've worked on this, Ghanaian producer on this album, I've actually done the most. Even the least I would have paid is in multiples of what they would ever get paid by any other Ghanaian artist.
Do you think that's the problem?
I think you need to still loud it. The part where I disagree with you,
okay.
I know the humility factor. I know one loud down. I pay this person this. I pay that person. I know you. No one do that. But the problem is, I had Fields in the same seat there, and after the show, when he was telling us about the Dr. Dre thing, said the most he linked up with Dre for studio and said the most expensive thing for Dre in Mansion being studio setup.
Exactly.
And Dre tell him face to face.
Exactly.
Forget the pool, the cars, the most expensive thing
because he spent on it.
Our sound be what go make us win.
Exactly.
The lyrics, the dancing, the singing, we get them. But our sound be what go make us win. So if people like you are investing the money
yes,
to get that international sound, louding it makes the other artists know that they have to elevate.
Which
and
is
also
true.
makes the producer know that he has to become a business.
Which is
you
true.
understand?
Which
But
is
if you
true.
do one way, the humility make we no
Yeah,
loud
when we
them,
don't allow-
it will affect us in
you
there.
are
Because the
very-
Nigerians are loud in
You
it.
are very right. You see, and I would take the responsibility for that. Just because we all know how things can just turn out to be, and I'll be specific about it. I am not here to try to speak people's businesses out, but then focusing on the fact that there is a need for expansion and to meet the global standards and grow. You will surely have to understand that it is a business, and this is where we need executives, we need bigger teams to be behind the scene with us to make sure that we can go. Because if you leave the artist to it alone, the revenues that we're making from here in Ghana is equal to nothing to chase that sort of investment.
Quality, yeah.
So you would find out that people hardly even can afford. But in other systems where the structure is, you see, every structure has to be repairing as they go. So you cannot just say it's perfect everywhere. But it is situated well enough so that it makes a lot of sense from production. So imagine when I spend this much on my album, and you expect that I'll just show up anywhere, anyhow.
Then jump on any kind of feature.
including
Any kind of stage.
Including any kind of stage, including anything that will not add value, or bring value back, then it wouldn't make business sense to even anybody to want to, invest monies, and so we will just be spending and not be gaining anything. So that's how you find out that we'll just find our own ways of just doing things anyhow. You know what I mean?
Is that why you jumped onto the opportunity that Def Jam proposed? Because we've had some of your colleagues sit on the same chair, and they have argued that sometimes it's good to be independent.
You see,
and all
we know that. I sometimes I just decide to speak less because I can say that I have the moral right to talk any talk.
Yes.
Because I will be able to match up to any colleague in this room beyond Ghana to speak industry or speak what we know. You know what I mean about that. Let us not clad ourselves. You see, I understand how we are as Ghanaians. We'll use our yardstick to be like, and somebody will be like, oh, because he signed to Def Jam, and because he is this one, because he's that. Well, we're not the same people. When after the news came out, I feel school of thought to be like, nothing they go on. No, I've seen it. I've seen it too.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Now there's something they go on. You see what I'm saying? So why I'm saying that is that work has to go on. Some people will say that 10% of 1 million is better than 100% of 100,000.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to get that example that we know.
Yeah.
So it's not, there's so much work to be done at every level. The higher you go, the more the work rate. And we want to grow out of our small spaces. We want to push. I can tell you that any Ghanaian musician would love to want to grow and get to heights as a musician. And there are processes and there are different arrangements that make that happen. Like for me to come to this studio, we have to go through the producer. You can't just walk randomly and come. There are processes. So realistically, you have to be fit. What would I be doing here if I wasn't fit enough to sit in this chair? It goes the same way. So if maybe you are not well fit yet to be able to have some certain conversations, and we know it's the truth now, you have to position yourself to be able to have certain conversations.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't just sit there.
At a certain point, would be like, listen, from 2020 to 2023, I had released only 3 songs. Which two of those songs are on the album, and even so, that was towards the latter part.
Yeah.
Look at if I risk, because I understood my brand power. No bragging. Everybody was releasing music and doing stuff, but I didn't release music. If you really check,
you on the road.
Gidigba and therapy.
No, Gidigba.
Gidigba
Therapy and more of you.
Gidigba, therapy and more of you.
More of you, recently.
Exactly. After the album had been released, so people said, my mind said, no go there.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, we knew what we were doing. We were trying to make, and then I came with therapy in a long while. And everybody was like, "Woo, are you changing your style?" There's always some level of planning. There's always some level of conscious efforts. I'm not one of those artists, respectfully, that does anything anyhow. No way. No. Because I always look at growing. What next? Listen to my craft, pay attention to my craft, and see what my comfort zone is. Because sometimes when you dig into your creative space, you find gold. Sometimes when you dig, you find diamond. Another times when you dig, you find copper.
Copper, yeah.
That's how I understand my creative, levels. You understand? So sometimes you find a reggae song. We understand the thing because it's a long journey as far as I'm concerned. So partnering with Def Jam, go and partner.
If it be easy, do them.
You jump into my next question.
Go and partner. And this is a global deal. And there are so many things happening behind the scenes that is really not easy to just be like, oh, because Asumesi is working here
and that's why
at Dream Music. Oh, if you ain't let.
Did you have any
But when you go inside, that's when you really understand.
So we have a lot
of
labels on the continent, right? Davido is on Sony, Burna Boy Atlantic.
Guys, I'm still actually going to the album. We haven't finished track one.
Sorry.
We are
I'm a raise on Universal Interscope.
Exactly.
Our boys, Kiddy,
Empire, Black Hole, yeah.
You know, what's it like?
Different levels of understanding.
What would you say it has done for your psyche and the Stonebwoy brand? Because moving onto the brand and being able to access the opportunities that come with it and the resources that are supporting it, comparatively, now has that freed you up to be more of an artist, or has climbing to the top given you more work as an artist?
I think you have more work to do. This is the point where you actually have to look at other aspects of the career instead of probably just knowing one thing and running with it. Remember that 8 years ago was when I won my first BETs, and that's not even a joke or something. 8 years ago, so I've been knowing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you said put humility aside, let's talk the talk. I've been knowing a lot of things. And I've been doing so many things that people did not understand from that time. Just to keep the talk nice. Yeah. And these are the fruits of it. And this is not no bragging. If it was certain other artists that have collected the feats that I have, we won't sleep in this country. Yeah. That's all I can say. Now,
I'd love for you to share with us, some doors that this partnership, or you coming aboard Def Jam, which doors has it opened for you? Because
it's a lot of
we see, how in the past couple of weeks and months, you've been at certain really important and notable places. So let's run through that.
Exactly. So see it as, imagine I mean everybody has their own opinions. But imagine you are picked up to play at a World Cup and you don't perform or you don't even fit to be there. People will talk now and your performance will show if this example answers it.
Right.
And it's only only more work. It's only more work at different levels. You see? So if I couldn't. Thing is like we shouldn't look at it just like maybe it's only the doors that are open and red. It's work.
What would you I mean,
there's a lot of it's work, and basically I have always seen it from the work side, and I'm grateful that it gives the masses and the viewers, the feeling that comes with it. But all I see is work. All I see is work. At different levels is work. On the next level is work. Until when, Dr. Dre was like, I saw an interview where he said, now he's the most free guy.
Free person on the planet.
I've not gotten, until I get there, then I can probably see. But right now there is work. I have it on top of my heart to represent country at every level. So many of the things that I do, believe me or not, my inspiration from when I was a small boy, look, me, when I read history books about Ghanaians, it energizes me too much. I've always felt in my spirit that I should represent for who we are as a people, and that's my energy. So most of these things that I do it because I have a certain focus on my mind to represent my people. Yeah. So the struggle thereof, and so many decisions and so many sacrifices and so many work input, realistically, if I was going to work at the levels where it is Sedia Tebiana, there are so many sacrifices and investments that I wouldn't even do because I know the standard at which we all operate. Even if I operated on the least standards, it will be top. So how much more I decide to go all out to make sure that, Charlie, we are also being well represented. So that's all I can say.
What's the mental fortitude like to keep those standards you speak of? Because we have this. Well, I don't want to say it's as an average Ghanaian thing, but as Ghanaians, we suffer with having to keep and maintain standards we set.
Yes.
Just a few of us who, know. So what is your mental fortitude like? Because last year you were on the road, like you were playing shows here, you came back to Ghana, you had to go back again. I was even wondering, were you sleeping? Like, giving time to rest?
I try. That's why I only see the work bits. And I'm happy that we are pushing and we are going. Like, only God knows, if you see me and my people on the road, we are very inspired by the fact that, we too will go do something for our people.
Right.
For me, it's as simple as that. However anybody sees it is their own way of seeing it. I can't fault them. But for me, and God has been good to me to that prayer. Because I just want to represent.
That's what keeps you going.
For the flag. I tell you honestly, I'm not even trying to hype. And over the years, we've seen it. We've seen it. I went on the World Cup stage without a DJ.
Wow.
But I didn't come back with an excuse.
Nope.
To the extent where my DJ couldn't... DJ no babonyo no. Say the anyamana shishe no ntino. One could be, but a man for be DH nice. But yes. You see, so, and you never come see me come and so my prayers are so it goes on. Look, it was an amateur Ghanaian guy who found somewhere say, oh brah, today I gave him name DJ Download. He's using it. Oh no way or say me download it. And then DJ Download. My set was an hour set. I dedicated 25 minutes to Ghanaian songs. So by the
this
time
was in Qatar.
In Qatar, by the time I got on stage, he was beating or bravo. I had to handpick the songs and the euphoria and the energy. It's like bringing back childhood memories for me personally. So me, in quote, my personal, he mashed up the. Imagine when you did Qatar in the year, so you see that and you be Ghanaian or you have Abba. Look at the pride. See that pride, and that be the pride where I praise me at the work towards it whilst I still pray. Yeah. So that the pride could come back. And that is the pride that I know that our fellow Nigerians have that has taken them where they are. And fortunately, we are all tapping in as Afrobeats where they now. Because respectfully, from maybe my perspective, take it away from how they do them as staff and they behave. Yeah. How would that affect the Afrobeats of today? The musical genre that is representing us as Africans from the continent. Take away Nigeria out of it.
Nigeria's influence. Basically.
Let's see how it goes.
It wouldn't be this.
How would it look like?
You know, go day like this.
It won't be as it is.
I just tell you. No go day like this.
Yeah, because there's some aggression they bring.
There's some aggression, there's some passion, there's some national vibe, there's some pride. So all that go on there, but it will still affect all of us as a continent positively.
Well, if you place yourself well, you two go take advantage.
Charlie, the last few
weekend. Monday don't come. Monday don't come.
Because the Afrobeats conversation there, we all know where you stand on that.
No, the Afrobeats conversation and what they talk about in house, they confuse. So they make it look like I don't stand for Afrobeats. Don't mind their squad.
You see?
Don't mind them.
You see?
They It's how they talk. They don't understand me, but we'll catch them. I will save 2 minutes to that.
We have the mic here.
But I want us to finish off on the album because
before we get into the album, let's figure out how the songs were written. Yes. I know you're a writer, you're a creator, you create the songs from scratch, but label, business angle, the Gofi Talk says, "Don't sit down. Let me put some 2 songs together for the album, blah blah." What has that journey been like? Do you work with other writers? Is it easy? Is it feasible? Are there any notable writers even on this project? Open inside.
Yes, it's important to actually open your scope. The thing is, one thing we should remember is that this is a partnership between Def Jam and my label. You know, and I retain creative rights. So I'm very equally responsible for majority. I had to deliver the album to them. So it's a situation where I'm equally in charge, like very, very, very much in charge, so much so that you have to now study and pick the baton to match up to that standard of work ethics, or, you know, however the work is done. You see, I couldn't remain at my local space and have it work. It won't work.
Yeah.
So I have to jack up myself. That's going to be my part of the deal. So now I have to quickly, and that's how I made mention to say that I've been knowing. But sometimes you want to buy Ferrari, but once you have to buy Ferrari, you go know how you go to move. So the example is just to say that I've been knowing that, look, there's a need for writers, there's a need for this, there's a need to actually have people submit some stuff so that okay, now after the songs are done whatsoever, you give them the due credit, you give them the due payment, because these writers, so many writers are living good and not known at all. They don't want to be known. So that means that, are you really ready to work in that like that? Coming from a Ghanaian perspective, where say kakrane banokwane and sono o kwa this. I've been knowing that, so
the boys on this morning on the show, I made it known that I get some filler. A key individual come Ghana here, one do Afrobeats project where they look for writers. They carry some good squad go, but it didn't match up to what the person they expect. Do you have any like these writers you are saying that who they on the low, but they chop, they work, they deliver. Anybody they on your radar way, we go feel use this platform elevator.
Thank you very much.
The same way we push the fashion guys.
Thank you very much. Me myself, I think if not last month, I was going to tweet like I need writers from Ghana here to I want to work with writers here from Ghana, and that's it, because we haven't, you see, we that culture self, we don't really understand them here yet right now. Make somebody knows it, because people can write. Most of these people who can write, most of them they house, most of them they uni. Most of them probably no get
job. They bank right now.
And I think the focus has always been, let me be the artist, let me be the artist. So maybe when you get talent, where say go feed do 1 2 self, they try to become the artist. And I'm sure that 50% of those ones can never make it into, because making it as an artist is favor. You get your own challenge. You get your own front. So there are so many roles that are there to be played. As a creative, you don't always have to be the guy with the microphone.
The forefront.
You can even be the guy that will send like 10 songs or 2-3 songs that you've recorded demo and say, yo, I did think about you this way, and this that I wrote, I know you can. And then the business thereof, the understanding thereof. So here I think we also need to encourage more writers. If I knew one, I would have immediately. I'll say no be today. I go fire.
Put up the email say we collect writers today.
Your email go crash.
Exactly.
So because they are focused on the opportunity and money, not because they are authentic writers. That be our problem.
Exactly.
We always send the chaff. We don't go send look inside.
You're very right.
And
you're very right. But sifting, looking inside self, the process, you see, the process and sometimes the resources and the structure, the two allow for those who are at the bottom who can actually do show. You understand? It just, and it is like this most often. Say even the best gold self day down still. So there is a need to understand that, say, we for have to allow the ones from the
dig deeper.
Dig deeper. The person to dig self be problem.
You're very right. Because the structures, we don't have diggers.
Yeah.
Somebody they like
go through that
not even worry himself. If will just probably be like the person who connects the writers to
the artist.
Like that, Ejumano is big. Everybody can play.
Be a star.
Yeah.
So sometimes we all grow and we all they go and we all they learn. You understand? Assuming you now, the position you play, you have influence. So maybe somebody can be like, or you can take it upon yourself to say you just curate writers and then do the crossover. It's business. Until then, the writers share whatever
a percentage.
Because if they connect. If probably you bring somebody who would write a song that I would use, it's a big stake. So then
right.
It goes. So the industry itself here in Akasano, these are the minor things, but very vital to the industry. That you can have, for instance, a Sarkodie or Stonebwoy sounding wow for forever.
Because the lyrics are already, the song is already fresh.
We didn't used to know this when they listen to the Shaggies, and then
backstage
20 years, then the guy is still sounding and then we realized that and Niger has been at this from time.
Davido's first album, like 70% was Tenny.
Yeah.
I think he was on album 3 before Tenny herself decided to start singing. Tenny in first hit, like Davido in first 2 hit or something.
She used to write for Davido,
You see?
But the thing is, you see, the Tennies too, they are not locally Nigerians like that.
They get some exposure.
I'm on the Kakra.
They grow small way, they go there Yankee. So they be American Nigerians. So let's not beat ourselves too much. But we too, those group of our people, for instance, we know them, we've met a lot. They are in their own world. I'm telling you, they know they really play. Yes, let's be honest, they don't play. They are in their own world. They are in their, not to put any, this is not a negative vibe.
Yeah.
The crossover, no day. They are in their own world. I can tell you honestly, and we have, I don't want to mention names.
Yeah. They exist.
So somebody like me, I know some things. So I know, I don't go worry about that, I don't go worry about that. We have a lot of those people too, but then they just chalk one side.
Yeah. So the crossover be the problem.
Yeah, we from Mingo. We from Mingo.
From Mingo, very important.
Now, anything I like you say, only the entire and coupon ball, mini say Mango.
I wanted us to go back to the album, right? The video release. I
we have the video release on the screen?
Let's put it back up. With all of the song titles that came, you have some symbols that actually, go with those songs. What was the intentionality choosing all of those symbols, and then the idea behind it? How can you relate with all of those symbols that were used?
Yeah, graphically, it needed to make sense because technical people too are watching and observing. And when you find the details in the stuff, then it becomes, you now understand the thoughts behind it at least, and then you can value it the more.
Okay.
If the names just rolled up, it's nice. But now the name rolls up, and then you find out that we're actually describing, it's like a Dinkra symbol, symbols that are describing what, it really is. So even if you can't understand into the future, or you can't understand in control. There are some people can even understand the drawing small. That's a speaker on the side, which indicates my sound. The African system, you see an African map. So the design, the creative.
I love the non-stop.
The non-stop has the forever.
The infinity
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just carefully thought. And I mean, I can say that if it's small timing ways have no day our side, it would have been crazier than that. But it's okay. I always say that sometimes when we give our list and it becomes the best, then that means there's more room for improvement and more success.
Well, I know people are actually going to pick these symbols.
No, but I love the attention to detail because some of the symbols on there, I can tell that were created.
Oh.
Yeah, because they don't, those are not originals.
Those are not originals.
Yeah,
thank
you. Those are not originals.
So these are your own Adinkra symbols.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, so there are some Adinkra symbols in there, but you see that there's additions.
That's what I'm saying, and I had to say it over here. I know now it waters it down a little bit more, but because you've seen what we're trying to do, we would have done crazier
Because Far
stuff
Away
with
has
that.
like a path
Thank you, a
in
pathway,
there.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
These are like
I
For
see
an artist
it.
to create his own symbol, this is not a joke.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. This is a big.
Stone, do you think you may look at converting these things into NFTs or
merch,
merch
exactly
something?
That's the next
That's what he's
levels
saying-
of the
saying that,
conversations too. So respectfully, right now we have a lot more to fix over here, and I personally haven't, taken the time to chase that side only because there are stuff to be done now. But we've thought about it. It's on our to-do list. So gradually we will get into that side too and make sure everywhere that we have to cross some T's and dot some I's, we are there.
That'll be dope.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry about the album. Let's go back to it. Let's put the album cover back. I mean the track list back on the screen so that we can go through it real quickly. If we can put it back there for a quick second, I think the team is working on that, But of course, I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, still on the album, right?
Yeah.
One of the top of the conversation was the rollout, the album rollout. It's experience, very unique, rollouts compared to the other album rollouts that you've had. Is this part of the cultural, accommodation you've had with a bigger label, or it is all part of your personal direction, like what you've already shared with us?
I just want to answer straight. It's in-house. I said this from here that we have an album to deliver, but we have to now work at levels where we can match up to partners that we're working with. So the ball is in your court.
Okay, let me run through it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you have to work at levels that you can match up to partners that you're working with. So, having that in mind alone, you have to push. You have to, and it's not like I've not been doing the most, because the last time I dropped an album was 2020. And if you look at what I did with Angloga Junction,
straight,
everybody has it on their mouth, Angloga. So, I mean, realistically, we easily forget. But I've always been fucking shit up.
So you just elevate it.
I'm
keep
sorry.
elevating.
It's
okay.
No, it's fine.
I have to be honest.
Okay, 15 minutes, please. I beg you guys. I really have to do this. So let's go in there. I mean, allow me to jump to the ones with the features real quickly. There are big competitions around it. I mean, Therapy was released, and now there's an Oxlade and Tiwa Savage in there.
Yeah,
you mind telling us about this?
That's a version with the two of them on from the Therapy. So you guys anticipate what an Oxlade and a Tiwa will do on a single record. Yeah.
Okay, I mean the song is there already. Now to decide on these two artists, I'm wondering the thought process of what I might have said. I needed a female artist. I needed one to give me a certain kind of sound, or amplify the music or the vibe. I just want to get the culture behind it.
Yeah, all of the above.
Hey.
All of the above has to be thought of.
Two people. I mean, two stars on there. That's also, I want to get it. I want to understand.
Henna. Someone say henna.
Still no release. I don't know why you don't release it.
No. Realistically, if something they are going to release them, but before you go ask the question, you have answered it. So I just say that's it. You understand? I'll be honest.
Why two artists?
All those thoughts.
All those things.
All those thoughts are valid.
I see a lot of strategy.
You have to make
here.
a difference. Exactly. You have to make a difference. See Oxlade and see Tiwa. I put them together and realistically, they were loving the song. Therapy is a song where people love them.
Love them.
So I'm like, yo, let's do it then. Let's put them together on the same song. You see the answer, but I say no answer because the answer,
How was
before Clarence comes, I wanted to apply to all the other artists,
okay,
so that we see quickly. Because it's definitely going to run through all the other artists with regards to Clarence. So Dexter Daps as well. I mean, Choice. I mean, the last time, the first and almost last time I heard of Dexter Daps was when he went to play at the Belize concert. Yeah, and then I was like, whoa, see this guy is some. I mean, I'm not in that space.
That's when you are knowing. But you're in the music space,
Yeah.
So which space are you? May I just take a minute and ask a question?
Music space.
Which space are you? What are you feeling? What is your
music space?
You have the right to have this is what
Yes.
I mess with.
Yeah,
What
but
genre
for
of
me,
music
to answer
do you
it, but
really
for
mess
me,
with?
I fell short on knowing about Dexter Daps. So I got introduced when I started getting conversations with the
Yeah,
organizers
that
of
on the side. So I'm
yeah.
asking what music genre you mess with a lot that you know that, oh, I have this guy tomorrow.
I'm more an R&B person. And even that it's an old school
Smooth
R&B person.
Olupa.
That's just me. I've grown with, you know.
Loverboy.
So that be me.
Keep the R&B and add other ones. Time is running. No, we need you to be abreast.
time is running.
No, we need you to be abreast. You can't remain in the
I'll
R&B.
tell you why I started
we
falling
need
short.
you to be
I
abreast.
couldn't continue, and this is interview is not about me though. But
I know, but it's
started
about
losing-
industry, and sometimes
I started losing track of-
we have to spread it across.
I
It's
started
really
looking-
not about us
losing-
either. It's
losing
about
track
all of us.
Yeah.
of the kind of quality of music I was getting. That's just me. So I stuck to old school, but that's just me.
The quality
Like,
from
so
Ghana or from everywhere else.
it's a global conversation for me. I kind of lost.
So you want
even
to say
for
the
hip hop
globe?
music
So what you
from
say
the US?
the music from US is trash. They've been releasing trash music quality wise
No.
because it
What
just
I'm
said
talking about
quality.
is the fine things that I find in music that work for me because of my kind of music background that what I have. I only could connect with it with a certain era of music. Now, when it goes to a certain era of, let's say, hip hop music from America, I kind of lost it. The recent guys, I don't even know their names no longer. Not because
leave America, so here
I'm
in
coming. I just
Ghana,
give an example.
The
So that's
quality
just
and
me.
based on the quality.
Yeah, so that's just me. So if I even come back to GH, I mean for Ghana it's vice versa, because the quality has grown as rather
better.
yeah, it's gotten better. So in Ghana it's vice versa. But the issue of Dexter Daps, I mean he's not within the kind of range of music I'll listen to. So I got into it. I was like, oh wow, seems this guy is like a huge conversation that I've been missing out for a while. So I fall short of my job in terms of knowing people, but I mean we all learning a day.
I mean, sorry, I don't mean to push, but I'm just saying because
it's
of
cool.
where you stand. Because you know, your caliber of person that I should understand that you are is
Yes.
an industry person who must know something about everything.
Yeah. So back to it. So like I'm saying, Dexter Daps fell out of the region of music that I would listen to. But
I'm not even based on
but
that any longer.
It's
I'm
good.
just,
It's good to learn as we go. So the second I found about Dexter Daps, then I went back checking, and I was like, "Whoa, this is." So to have seen his name pop up on the list, I wasn't surprised. Number one, yeah. But then number two is I can imagine what bomb these two artists have created. But I don't want to say because you tell me I've answered the question already. So I want to find out what exactly what has gone into the making of a song with Dexter and the choice as well.
Secret lover.
Yeah, Dexter is a fine artist when it comes to the woman level. I can say that Ghana, to make an example of a Dexter, we can mention legends who have been at that, like Daddy Lumba, where you know they're like
Mano.
you know, and so Dexter has actually found a niche. From time he sings amazing music from all subjects.
Yes, definitely.
But he's well vested in the love subject. He can narrate a certain story so I can tell you, many girls and even guys. I have a friend lawyer who says, "Charlie, when I bring you Dexter?" I almost brought Dexter to Ghana last year, but because of financial overboards. So I know that, as time goes on. So he's actually huge amongst the dancehall sing J. When they say sing J, like the singing and dancehall kind of style. So I felt
Why
like
your waist kind of guy.
that's that's the right guy for that type of concept that DJ Breezy produced. And then it fitted as well.
We can get the list back on the screen. I also spotted you on there with Shaggy.
Yeah.
Now, funny enough, after how many years, Shaggy's lyrics of his song was...
It wasn't me.
It wasn't... No, it wasn't me.
Mr. Lover.
Was it?
Angel.
Wasn't me.
It wasn't me, right? Where there was a little bit of advice in there.
Honey
about
came
young-
in and she coming right-handed.
No.
Which one?
He talks about, being young, having fun, partying.
Rich, growing up,
that's
the
the one.
clowns, and I don't know what you said.
Yes. It's now gained more
Keeping it
traction
real.
on TikTok after
Keeping it
many
real.
years.
It's
People are
keeping it real.
using that.
But
Yeah,
it's
I
happened.
said...
I mean, TikTok does that to some really,
It's because there's a whole generation that never
quote-unquote
heard that
old,
song.
yeah.
There's a whole generation that missed out on that music that has
yes,
now
yes,
caught
yes.
wind of that music again, and we've seen Shaggy now on the album. Of course, you, Jamaica, you've already spoken about your how they've already taken you as one of their own. But of course, it's a big deal to do a song with Shaggy. What kind of music are we expecting from you?
A typical Afro dancehall style, which is the Afrobeats element are present and then the dancehall element are present, and typical Stonebwoy style where you know that we are blending We are blending like the lyrics, different languages, a patois on one line. Before I finish one line, I could do a patois, a guy and a tree, all on the same. That's the kind of style that I went in for, lyrically, you know. And I think I know it's a big jam, you know, especially having Shaggy on this album. On that song is amazing. It quite happened like this. He was on tour in Australia, I think just a few months ago. Shouldn't be more than 4 months. Yeah, it shouldn't be more than 4 months. So when I sent him the song, he's like, yo, youth. So he actually, you know, the thing is, when people do some stuff, you have to acknowledge, and that actually tells you how they value or see you. You know. He was on tour. He was doing his last show on the 16th. So he said once he in Australia, definitely would take like a day and a half to get to America.
Long flight.
So he said he was going to send it back on the 19th specifically. Immediately he got to Yankee, bam, bam, bam. He called me and said, "Yo, check your things there, man." And he was in there.
Wow.
Quick, he delivered, and you know it was
professional.
I can imagine when you got the vocals.
I was and then we met in LA. Over the Grammy weekend, it was massive. You know?
Oh, shouts to KG as well.
Exactly. That's
KG the whole down boys when they touched down in LA.
He did. That's actually my first time encountering him well and proper, as you know, as a hip life legend. They done their best. We shared a lot of ideas, and I pray that God gives us the resources to be able to hold firm our own, because there are so many things that we have not tapped into, just because it takes a lot. So, you know.
Angelique Kidjo, for many of us, has been one of the super duper legends that it will be an honor definitely for any artist of today to have a chance to be in the same space with an Angelique Kidjo and to produce music with Angelique Kidjo. I can imagine being in the studio, or if that didn't happen, working with her.
We sent records over.
You send records over. What does it mean for you personally, number one, working with Angelique Kidjo as a brand, and of course, you know, wanting to match up to a certain standard that she has set, an impact that she's made?
It means so much to me, just like Shaggy, because I grew up listening to Mr. Lover. Boom, she got me Mr. Bombastic. Yo, I was in class 4, class 3. You know, and these are the songs that inspired my dancehall journey outright. I remember R to the A to the G to the G to the A, la 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 la, and these are mighty names who have broken into the pop world and done collaborations, vice versa, etc. So to have them today, like, these are like generations that grew me, and I've been able to, by the grace of God, you know, work so hard, so much, so that they'll pay attention to you and even feel like adding value to your brand. And these people, when they touch a thing, is value. These are institutions. In every industry, we have names who become institutions. Here in Ghana, I respect our legends and all, but our industry have to put it in our faces and institutionalize some people.
Hard.
Because this is a big conversation. When you go to the Grammys, before the Grammys go finish, for example, one of the Grammys, you go see Quincy Jones and you go see Stevie Wonder. Grandfathers will show face. Great grandfathers will show. Them alone, they are institutions. And you go see uncles and aunties and nieces of the industry.
Before you reach the youth.
Okay.
Don't answer.
No,
but then
Stonebwoy,
that's when your question comes in.
I wanted to find out about creation of albums versus creation of EPs, right? Because we see you do albums back to back to back. Is there a reason that you want to put all your weight behind, you know, a lengthier body of work than just to give us EPs?
Okay, EPs are extended plays if it is, and LPs are
long plays.
From my understanding, both dictionary meanings and whatever meanings of EP and LPs don't matter to me that much, because it's obviously a collection of songs, whether 5, 4, 3, 2, 10, 12. That's just the difference it makes for me. Equally, there's a need to put in a lot of ideas, resources into making sure whatever song is on there is heard or not. And realistically, I think the album situation for me makes a lot of sense. Just simply because to even break 17 songs is like, oh, and no. For somebody like me who records so much and would wish to put out, there are songs that sometimes I've teased on social media, on individual platforms where my fans or people who follow are even fused about But I'm careful because you can't really just, I put in a lot of effort into making sure that everything I put out actually lives its purpose or half of its purpose for me, because you can't really always tell. So the album situation is key to me. I'd rather drop an album than drop an LP. I'll call it, in these times, it's just the names. Because you can equally drop a 7-track album. Because the name doesn't do any, you're inclined as well in that manner. The name doesn't change any dynamic like that. It's just
somebody can drop that same 7 and say it's an EP.
And call
yes,
it that's true.
So it's just the name that I believe is the name that makes
the difference.
When you say album, looking for the conversation we've had, when you say album, there's a lot more intentionality on it.
Okay,
your symbols, your fashion, your features, the quality, blah 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 blah. It's heavy.
Good.
You understand?
Good.
But when you say EP, people tend to think that
meanwhile, you could also invest the same
in your
intentionality into an EP.
Because people have EPs that have won massive awards that people albums never hit.
Yeah.
So, like I say, it just be named.
So now I want to ask 2 questions, and this might be my last questions or my last set of questions. A lot of conversation have come up as a result of the direction towards the Grammys. You went there, you experienced the atmosphere there and all that. People think this might just be the album to give you that luck. Now I know when you won the BET, you weren't actually looking forward to winning a BET, but you got it. Is this the album to do it for you?
Right. Just to backdate it to the BETs before, there was one interesting story. By the time on the morning where the awards were going to be mentioned, because ours was pre-recorded on the same stage, however that conversation, people say backstage, but it needs to be corrected.
It wasn't backstage.
It's pre-recorded and then it's now added to the program. On that afternoon, when we were just about to enter the auditorium for that, I knew it was going to come to Ghana, but I was not sure who. And it was only me and Saki.
No, let me tell you what he said. Let me tell you what he said. He said, what he said, I remember very, very well. We're working together. He just tapped my shoulder and he said, I didn't name him a foul. I remember it so well.
Was he wrong?
It wasn't wrong.
That's another part of me that we have to now tear church.
Obviously, they come.
Charlie,
that's silence. My foul.
The pause.
No, so look.
But for me, based on this one,
is the Grammy coming home?
The Grammy conversation excites a lot of people.
Right.
Even if I won a Grammy, I will still continue to work.
That's right.
I'm not sure that it will be the last for me. And also, I don't think that people should put their minds too much
on the Grammy.
On there. Is a very honest talk, which is that there are artists in America, there are great artists who have never touched the Grammy Awards. I believe that it is also another human institution that has a lot of value addition. But just because it's a human institution, people have their reservations, etc. It's just like the VGMAs, etc. It adds value, but it's, when you move forward and you win a Grammy, it's amazing. If you win a VGMA, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Whether you deserve it or not.
Right.
Yeah, so that's how I'll just put that.
Do you need at least a nomination?
Oh, yes. The last Grammys I worked on 3 albums.
Albums, yes.
Out of 5 reggae albums I was featured on. So if any of those had won, that would be another. I featured on a Morgan Heritage album before who won the Grammy. So that at least have given me a recognition and a certificate of there. So I pray that I've done everything that I've done actually fits that criteria.
Yes.
So let's just see how it works out.
Okay, and then lastly, we saw you, speaking to Taylor Swift.
Swiftly.
Literally.
What was it like? Obviously, we couldn't hear what you said to him, but what was the conversation
Charlie,
like?
it was nice because Taylor Swift. So if you go there and see Taylor Swift and remember that you come from a village, that your people will use the village movement and say, or you realize that you come from a village and all of a sudden because you are on red carpet, you want to form that you are a Taylor Swift.
Levels.
They say, oh yeah, you are washing yourself.
I don't know. A fan talk, fan-based talk. And unfortunately, no media not fair, no more running.
Bro, don't talk, child. Listen, make a talk for you on this one. The perspective be on a problem. When rich people, they do how she share, they call them networking. When you don't get anything, when you go talk to somebody, then they go insult you that you they do how she share, they get out there. The person, they know the carpet top, they do that how she share for. The networking. Bro, the carpet you see, I'm saying, slam the Adam.
I say, if you make lucky, la go carry a can. You know, it was nice. You see, the whole media, to be honest, I've never felt any way at all about, I can never feel any way at all about these conversations. Because I understand conversations that go on amongst the fans, which would forever be, because it goes on everywhere. But my own small understanding be say, our media has to rise above. Some discussions have to be left amongst the fans. And when it comes to the media space, the media practitioners have to
do better.
Sanitize so that but now when fans who know
almost
barely close to nothing from the behind the scenes are making statements, and then now we are asking those statements, amplifying, and then that's where the problem is for me. So I was never really bothered about that. I want to share it to make it trend, to make it go. That's amongst fans, but the media shouldn't even discuss those things to the level where it amplifies. Even if it will be negative, let it be from the media knowledge perspective of in-depth understanding of industry.
So we have a part to play in educating people.
You see what I'm saying? So me, I was not pissed at all, but to have it being amplified to that level where it's now become the topic and the question, and even
the important thing was missed.
The important thing was missed. You see, the connectivity over there. Tomorrow, when a product of mine is sent to Taylor Swift, Obekai say, oh, Sakapono. And look, so many stars have spoken about those type of, it's a Ghanaian kind of thing that we are always like laid back, and my movement has been different and will always be different as I continue to grow and learn,
Which will pave ways for you.
Especially that is no ego over there. So you can imagine, on the red, how many Ghanaians walked on the red carpet prime time and did interviews? Yeah. Please.
And they didn't promote that. They're talking about Moshe.
You see what I'm saying? And have they understood? They should actually also, what did it take
to get there? What was it like?
To even get the end. Americans Americans have no work on that carpet. No get the qualification certificate.
To be called on that carpet.
To enter the security to say, red carpet, oh yes, Stonebwoy, Ghana, we have work to do, so let's work.
Get there. That is the point. The point is what it takes to get there. I shared a photo
laughing about it.
But that's how they can. Some people will feel good. That's after it's a fan thing.
You mentioned
I see Fantasia. I see Fantasia where I say, hey, forget, and I make a photo. No,
Fantasia Bruno.
Fantasia. Nana, me dinechi sa. Ko share me girl with Vanessa Jan. Yeah, try Nana.
Mami some for example ba ko shia. Say me so high di me ti bebre.
Of course.
And then no.
Please, the fact.
Baby bebre di me ti say. Anywhere in the world, if I go there, they fit. Anywhere in the world, 100%. If they was I'm on Stonebwoy. They go park their car, they go now it be so now.
Bro, I just remember something here. See, the last time there's this viral video of you and a fan. You were buying coconut.
My time they finish.
Oh, I know, right? Or starting my fans in 1 hour. Yeah. It's all my fans in my fans in BBC. That be the reality. Opposite my fans na BBC. Oh, yeah, couple. Yeah, couple. One my fans 30 minutes a year. After surrounding you to say the opposite Jimmy you and I'm saying, guy. Hey, that's why I continue to say no kube no bob akuma no pa. To ever see na one or chilling fan no boy no I'm saying the typical crime and shout boy
Stonebwoy, before we let you go.
January 5.
Oh, we are
January
not letting
2nd.
it go
January
I have
1st.
last question for you.
Stonebwoy, before we let you go, still
to
in
your
America.
surprise, bro.
Okay, still in America. We saw videos of you and Jordan.
Fast,
yes, and we
That's
could
my
tell
G,
that you
that's
guys
my
were
G.
working on something.
Right,
Would you
that's
do
my
us
G.
the honor of letting us know when that is going to come out? And is it your song or hers?
Both.
Okay, so you did 2 songs then.
Yeah.
Projects.
Oh, okay.
You know,
When do we expect it?
Fear what is not on the album. That's what I'll tell you.
Thank you. Thank you. See,
right.
they answer questions before you.
We just swap up next time. You go sit there.
You are
Fear
not
what's on the
wrong
album,
at
Charlie.
all.
Me,
Fear the
Shimmy.
unknown
Right.
and the unseen.
Right.
Because there is a plan by the grace of God we have to achieve. We have to also far Ghana and to my papa and fra at least one day, someday, some things must happen better for us. So shout out to Jordan Sparks. That's my G right there, you know. Down to earth, amazing person, the husband. Do you know, coincidentally, as with the vibe, we got married on the same day.
Oh,
Wow.
You know?
see.
So things just happen.
The dimensions plenty.
That's interesting.
That one be 6 dimension.
Yo.
Wow.
The fans, real
they
quick.
sit
Just
down.
Yeah,
10,
Charlie.
2 minutes.
Look, starting out from here, no, your fans, we know everything. Now your fans be world fans.
Amen.
What's that like, my brother? Like you said, everywhere you go in the world, somebody there your back. What's that fan experience like? And how is your relationship with them affecting the brand and your music?
Yes, the relationship with this with international fans is actually opens your eye and your ear to actually continue to create products that will involve them, so that it's not only for your Ghanaian fan base or the Ghanaians in the diaspora, you know. And realistically, we all know that when foreigners as Ghanaians, when foreigners in the diaspora accept us more, it has greater effects on our own people. Then they tend to also G you to more, because probably that's the time where it feels like I'm the new cool, and then they hold on to you the more. So it informs my creativity a lot. Where you have to speak Twi or Pidgin on Ewe, then it is intentional. So that they would have to be fascinated about what that is and learn. But at least there's going to be an aspect or some parts of the song that they can also easily grasp and join in the.
Why do I have a feeling
Only-
Manoji is giving me that vibe with Angelique Kidjo?
Hey, Manoji is one of the most beautiful songs that I love. The song produced by Krazi, you know. It has Ewe. I was speaking to her yesterday. Said me and her have built a very cool rapport, you know. And it really started off of me chasing her. So if you care to know, the entire brought her to Ghana one time. I said, that's my idol, and she said, yeah, no problem. Link in the morning, me kaipa, and I'm sorry. Bear 8 then I'm sorry because my dad bear 4 5. And a friend, me pano, and I just met her. It was nice. As we have pictures, this is what has come out of.
Wow.
And she's so happy. She's really has never done a feature outside of her language where anybody is speaking her language. So it's like, wow, you know, because she speaks multiple languages coming from Benin and Cotonou, and
So she sang in Ewe as well?
She speaks Yoruba, so she sang in Ewe all through.
Sweet.
As well. And I also sang in Ewe, and then we give them some small English.
Lastly, our time is up. We have
Thank
to
you.
go now, but album release date.
28th of April,
28th
which will be like 3 years, 4 days after my last album.
Oh,
Are there other promo activities
intentionality.
in the way? Apart from your radio tours and build up, are there any other key, like the way you had the review? Are there other things we should expect for the promo?
Yes.
Ask it on your social media platform.
Yes. We are drawing some plans to make sure that Ghana feels the heat more. The most heat has to be felt here. Sweet. That's the plan.
Well, to all of you who were sending in messages as well, we are so sorry we couldn't get everything.
Oh, you know if you
down
read
here.
one there from someone.
No. It be the message is no. The question is
message is
asked
not
no. We
who would they
answer.
take us? But
Someone's
more deal
asking
like
about
go see them.
NFTs and all that as well.
So
but,
maybe we are going to answer some. I go if you do that.
we
Maybe
go
I'll
answer
be the
for you,
kind
don't
of
worry.
quote. I get the answer.
You answer
Because
for
in
you.
Twitter, they fear Twitter. I mean, not
yeah.
just joking.
You know, it's a place where it's opinion based. So everybody...
and majority of the opinion over there is not it's very ignorant.
Yeah.
So you might not want to engage because the pain comes off of taking the time to engage to try to share the honest fact, and then that also becomes
another
and that one is not even looked at. So you realize that they are not looking for answers.
Just agenda now.
Yeah, they're not looking for answers.
Twitter is mental. One answer, we finish. Anyway, Stone, it's been good having you.
Really
your
grateful.
insights are always
So
your insights are always very deep, you know. And we do acknowledge the fact that, you know, you've worked on a very good album, and I do encourage all other platforms to also be able to amplify this. It's Ghanaian, it's ours, and let's push it. Your final words on the album?
Thank you very much. The album comes out, like we've said, on the 28th. Pre-save is on already. You can click and pre-save from my bios all on social media. And I ask you to, you know, whoever is listening for the first time, whoever has heard something that made you become a fan, you know, even somebody who is drawn today, thank you very much. You're welcome. Make sure you stay tuned and stick in. And on to the next move is European tour. We're doing like 3 cities. We're doing Switzerland, Germany, and Amsterdam. So we're doing like three shows in each country. So just to, you know, we're going to be performing some exclusives off of the album. Wow. Like, you know, so everybody go out there in my bio, get the link, tell a friend in Switzerland, in Germany, in Amsterdam. We're coming. One thing I have to say is that my fellow Ghanaians, majority of my fellow Ghanaians abroad, please, let us drop all the kind of sentimentality small, because we also deserve to shine. You know what I mean? We also deserve to shine, and I have no shame in saying that this is very important for me, something I have to send across. Like I said from the beginning, take away the Nigerian presence, and we don't have anything going on for none of us. Can that be said of us? That if we take away the Ghanaian presence, is anything going to stand? Realistically, we have work to do. When an A-lister like myself and our fellow brothers from Ghana are coming outside, the majority of us have to have it as an agenda to also, you know, seal up their ends of the bargain in the diaspora. Because the diasporians from Nigeria have made it very juicy as it is. And I know for a fact that when they pop out, you guys are the first ones to sell their stuff out. And for us, it sells out, yes, but always last minute. What it does is that it blocks us from having certain conversations that are going to take us into the spaces that you want to see us. So please, forget about that £50, £30. That's not what feeds us. Because you have it. Oh, because you're not a Debbie. Me plane ticket in Kwame the Anuni, first class and business class. Me fly for the old do. Yeah, isika wumuda. Intina yadia to your bosu. And yes, sir, one day, no. Said Nigeria for the forms, Bray and say, yen changing nationality na become on any Jumana. A footballer, like I just said, a lot of Ghanaians would have signed up and naturalized for countries who understand the fact that they have to. The majority of the people in the diaspora and even here sometimes have to really play their end of the bargain so that we continue to be encouraged, and let's also shine the flag of Ghana. Because we are doing the most, if not the same, as other people are doing. And this is the discussion. I'm telling you, this is discussion. When you ask Saksha, everybody, they will tell you it's true. But I beg to be the one to throw my head inside to be slapped. Me and my big mouth. So I'm humbly, with all due respect, saying this. Majority of our Ghanaians in the diaspora, we know they have power. If they tell you the Ghanaians in the diaspora who control things, it will be surprising to you. So we beg. This is what we want to do. We want to take it further, and let us encourage you guys. We want to know especially what to do to have you guys have the pride back,
to come back
as it would have been some years back. You know, because this translates into business and growth for nation and citizens. Bear with me and understand that. You know.
On that beautiful conclusion. Our time is up. It's been a great week.
A lot said.
Of Tuning to Culture Daily. We're back next week, promising you even more and bigger.
Yeah,
so
far away
tune
out
in.
today.
Far away out today.
I'm not beating. I'm into far away.
Far away out.
Yeah.
Well, Stonebwoy, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We are out.
Thank you.